Welcome back, I'm Tun Gamer with building a LEP service droid from Star Wars. They're often found doing menial tasks like rat catching in crime lords' palaces. So let's get into the video. The LEP service droid was also known as a servant droid in the Clone Wars. It went from the Clone Wars onwards as a very popular choice for being a servant if you are higher up ranking. Some were capable of speaking Galactic Basic or a series of chirps or squeaks. They were most commonly known for carrying refreshments, carrying data pads and catching rats. They look like rabbits and have cool light up eyes that allow them to change their expression. They easily get scared, so you can most commonly see them with a scared face, and they don't go out in the barrel at all. There were quite a few examples in the Clone Wars series, but when it came to live action, the Ratcatcher droid was most commonly found in Bib Fortuna's castle, and then later on served Boba Fett, the late bounty hunter, for quite some time. This was another awesome design from Droid Division's Etsy shop and could easily be printed because it came in multiple segments that easily could be printed on one single print. For the ears, the model came in 3 different parts: the inner pieces of the ear, the outer pieces of the ear, and this one piece that we put right by here, which has a hexagonal socket that we attach to the rest of the head, which then allows it to move in all different directions, which might come in handy, or we could just lock it in place. For the head, it was able to be printed on one build plate, but the model had it in multiple different parts. It had both the eyes, it had the front of the head, it had its tongue, it had a bit of the back of the head and another big bit of the back of the head. The tongue goes in somewhat like this, as you might be able to see, and it will be sitting on a metal rod to make it go up and down, so you might be able to tell. The eyes can roll around to show different expressions and emotions that can also go with the ears. Later on, we can put some LEDs in to make it look nice and bright and shiny, especially with the red eyes that it normally has. This piece here, it easily attaches to the head like this, to the rest of the head like this, though at the moment it's detached. The body comes in 4 separate pieces, including the neck. The design also came with a lot of other little pieces to make it have extra design, and you might be able to make a bit of light seep through it. This also looks extremely good, though I think I need to smooth up the side as it's very rough. For the legs, it came in 4 separate parts, as this is only half of it. It also needs a few pegs, and I also decided it would be better to make these ones solid, as it makes it a lot harder to move, though it makes it a lot better if it's such as a model. This is what it would end up looking like when it's completely finished. As you might be able to tell, it has all the pieces. I've made sure to make this just to show you guys. We printed both the hands on one build plate as they're quite small and could fit easily. It also has a lot of tiny little pieces and goes together pretty well. We've connected both the ears to the head using this chunky thing right here. We also used 2 4mm rods to make the ears have movement like this. It honestly looks amazing, and it can make for really good emotions. The chunky rod also allows it to move down, up and down like this. It really looks good, and you can make it look sad or happy. I used the exact same adjustable LEDs as I did for all the other droids and their eyes, but this time I bought it so that I didn't have to solder any of it together by just buying the disc that already had the adjustable lights on it. It saves me a bunch of time, but I still have to solder it to the Arduino boards. Because its eyes have these 3 little cuts in the middle, it lights up perfectly individually. I printed out this shroud that has the 3 little cuts as well, so that the lights are able to shine through in the order that it's supposed to go in. You can install it in simply by just doing this, and then this goes in. You do have to make sure that it's in the right place though. For the colour scheme, I went with white and gold, and it's quite hard to tell what the colour is in the show. So I've decided that later on I'm going to make it more grimy. In the show it's quite hard to tell what colour it is, as it could be gold or it could be brown. But because C-3PO is also kind of a servant droid, I wanted to pay an homage to him, so I went with gold. For the top and bottom of his body, I attached them both by 4 magnets. There are some by here and there are some by here. This is so that we can attach it easily together by doing something like this. For the arms, I have quite a wide range of motion, as we can move it like this, up and down like this. We can move it on his arm by here, and we can move all of his fingers, and we can move his wrist. In the Book of Boba Fett, he has a flick and switch button that allows him to turn himself off and on. He also has this hatch that he flicks open to turn the lever off and on. So we put that in by the mod creators, and it can go from either shut completely to open wide. It's really nifty. The most recognisable thing about the Ratcatcher droid is its famous net. The handle of the net looks a bit like a lightsaber, so I've already painted it with a nice silver coat. So I'm going to make it even more silvery and make it look a bit more detailed to make it look even more like a lightsaber. I printed the Ratcatcher's iconic net in 4 separate pieces, but since it needs a net to catch the rats, I decided that it would be a good idea for me to weave a net. But then I realised it would be too much hard work, so I went on eBay to find a net for me to cut it out of. And I found this net, and it was only £1, and I think it might work. I got pretty lucky with the bag that I picked, as the netting was perfect, and it went pretty well with the webbing that I put on the rest of it, which made it look pretty nice in the end. After I finished the base coat, I then went on to weathering, where I then used acrylic paints and inks to make cool panels on his body. I think it turned out pretty well in the end. For the eyes, it has shutdown, startup, blinking, surprised, and it also had Christmas. We added them into a basic loop so they all show up on occasions. This was a pretty cheap droid to print, as he only had to use a couple rolls of PLA filament and a few cans of spray paint. We also went a bit extra and added an Arduino board to control the expressive lights on his eyes. We also put some paper in between the lights so that it diffused the lights from the LED holders. Next time I'm thinking of making the BD droid from Jedi Fallen Order, as it's really cute and I think he's a pretty decent task as he has a wide face. I don't know how I'm going to work that out.
Gotcha.
I hope you guys enjoyed the build video. This is by far the quickest one to make and also easiest to print. Hopefully this is a good corner droid that can sit in my corner while he protects me from rats very soon. So I will be doing you guys next time.